welcome to the second day of the Energy Transition Conference 2026, ETCon26, brought to you by none other than our utility company, Tenaga, Nasional, Berhad, TNB. And we are here at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre to attend ETCon26, beginning from the 3rd of June until the 5th of June 2026. Now, we've talked about clean energy, we've talked about solar energy, we've talked about nuclear energy just now. So now we are heading towards the grid infrastructure and distribution network of the grid in Malaysia in terms of electrical under TNB. So we've brought in a very special guest. He is none other than the Chief Distribution Network Officer, Tenaga Nasional Berhad, Ahmad Sazree bin Abdul Aziz. Thank you for spending your time with us here at the Bernama Mobile Studio. So how are you seeing the environment of ETCon26 so far?
Thank you very much, Mus, for that question. I think the conference which has started yesterday has been very exciting. I think we have seen a lot of guests and also the session that we had with both minister, Deputy Minister yesterday and today with the BMS himself. We have seen a lot of engagement that transpires during these 2 days, business matching and whatnot. And I think since we had this last ET conference, the first inaugural ET conference was held back in 2023, and it has somewhat overdue to have a second ET conference. I think people has becoming more receptive. We've seen a lot of participation in this time around of ET conference, and I believe subsequent to this ET conference, there will be a lot of follow-up, residual discussion to take up whatever we discussed in relation to AI energy, the theme for today's this time around conference, and how those AI energy can collaborate and be integrated within the utility industry, in particular for Malaysia as well as other regions.
So from your discussions with the Prime Minister as well as the Deputy Prime Minister, Fadilah, is there any kind of the ins of the industry that probably those two have given to you, or maybe tell you about their feedbacks and their ideas?
I think from the content, because I'm coming from distribution network.
Yes.
So for distribution network, I think we actually operates the asset throughout Peninsular Malaysia. Talking about more than 95,000 substations throughout the country, up from the north to the south, from east coast to the west coast. But then also we manage the customer, ensure the supply to the customer for a total of about 11.4 million customers. And looking into the size and volume, that's offer certain complexity because from the end perspective, our asset is spread out through the country. And those kind of challenges actually provide an interesting way forward for Tenaga and the end particular, and how actually we could continuously improve our service delivery customers beyond what we have offered thus far. I think it has gone beyond to actually getting the electricity based on the principle, the guideline that have actually offered the customer. But then now we have went beyond that in offering very customized and unique services to customer in connecting them to the network.
All right. So when it comes to grid, right, you're in the network distribution, but then again, people have been told about smart grid and also adaptive grid. So what differentiates between the two, and how does this real-time responsiveness change how TNB manages the network on a daily basis?
Okay. First, I think I started off with the conventional flow of energy. It starts off from the generation side, eventually transmitted through the transmission network, and ends up to the distribution network. So that's how the conventional energy flow is. So, but then as we are seeing more of the organic growth in terms of the network, that adds up to the system complexity, and hence we started to employ and work towards the smart grid. Smart grid offers the flexibility for us to actually basic automation of the system, but then at the same time in terms of better visibility of our asset throughout the country as well as monitoring. But then beyond that, with the emergence of new technology, when you have more of RE, in particular solar, DER, digital load and very dynamic demand pattern, I think the smart grid is no longer sufficient. It has to go beyond on top of that, which is the adaptive grid. When talk about the adaptive grid, it means that actually how we can ensure the network, the system that we manage to become more resilient. So from the conventional up to the smart grid, it talks about the system reliability, ensuring that we do the maintenance on time, ensuring that we have the continuous supply and whatnot. But then when we move on to the network resiliency, I think the whole system somewhat become better than smart, meaning that the system will be able to anticipate any changes from the different source of energy. I'll come back to that later. But then at the same time, in terms of how the system will be able to withstand the challenges that came about with this new technology. Further to that, actually how the system can actually recover and react and adopt to those kind of challenges. The challenges that I was referring to will be on the higher penetration regards to the RE, as well as particularly in solar. Solar is a time-based generation. So I think when we have a lot of solar system, we have better generation from RE during the time. But then during the other time of the day, we don't have that kind of generation. And when we have excess solar in the network, that creates certain challenges in terms of the technical part of the network, in terms of the voltage volatility, the rise and fall of voltage, the load flow from the single flow to the bidirectional flow, as well as in terms of the mismatch of demand and supply. So enhance from distribution perspective, I think the adaptive grid is the way to go that enable us to actually better manage, orchestrate this system management, the network management, as well as the ensuring that the system is very much resilient and be able to actually cater for future and additional growth in terms of the RE, distributed energy resources and so on.
So it's quite interesting you said since this transition isn't just a technical upgrade, it's the backbone of the country's future in terms of energy security. So if the grid can handle the pressure, it's going to be very hard to support Malaysia's booming digital economy or hit our big green clean energy target that the government has put forth. So how does the transitioning to an adaptive grid specifically serve as the core enabler for both Malaysia's digital future and our national renewable energy target set by the government?
When you look into the National Energy Transition Roadmap, I think we are going towards zero carbon generation by 2050. That also means that we're going to have more of RE generation comes into play. And I think the most common, easiest RE that the public, the customers can actually have into the network will be the solar panels. When we have solar panels, I think it would not be a consistent generation in that sense. So it differs from biomass and whatnot because that generation can be planned. Solar, what we have here currently, mostly when people install solar, it does not come with battery. So whatever be generated is either you use it as and when it's being generated, or it flows back to network,
to the main grid.
And hence, in having this bidirectional flow of energy in pursuit for the NEDR, the National Energy Transition Roadmap, it goes in tandem. So we want more of RE generation, but at the same time, this RE, more of RE penetration causes constraint, stress, congestion to our network. And hence, adaptive grid will be the solution on how TNB and DN in particular will be able to better manage the network and allowing better customer serviceability. At the same time, ensuring that the system will be able to adapt and adopt to this new source of generation.
All right. So as new technology advances, and also, for example, you said from smart grid to adaptive grid. So all of this will obviously bring up the cost. So it's a balancing act from your department, right? So to ensure that you don't sacrifice the cost, but at the same time, you don't want to burden the consumers with high level of rates or high prices of electricity. So how do you find this balance? How do you strike it?
I think as we progress into the next journey of energy transition, the rate of growth, rate of adoption, RE, differs across the country. Some part I can see that certain concentration of RE generation, in particular solar, will be mainly on the urban areas.
Okay.
So by saying so, it also relates to your question earlier on. So it goes to the risk base and in terms of the simplicity on how we actually operate the network. When we employ the adaptive grid, we don't want to actually incur excessive costs in designing, delivering, and building up extra additional infra to employ the adaptive grid throughout the country. But then instead, it must be focused, targeted group for those areas that there is high risk, but then at the same time offers the simplicity for the utility to operate the network. It's a balancing act that the utility must actually pursue to enable the better adoption RE, at the same time without be incurring additional costs, and which eventually be translated into the customers at large.
All right, so let's talk about AI. Now, everything is integrating AI within the industry, and that includes the energy sector in TNB. So TNB has rolled out millions of smart meters nationwide, right? And however, the real game changer is not just tracking through the smart meters, but using the AI to actually manage and balance power automatically as it moves through the system. So how does TNB and your team make the critical leap from mere visibility to dynamic automated control over distributed energy resources?
Okay. When we need to have the dynamic control of our network, we need to employ another layer of automated equipment throughout our system, meaning that there'll be a lot more sensors, a lot of data acquisition, and integration of this all information to a single platform. When you have mass of data, it will be very tedious and human intense to actually diagnose, filter everything, to actually give us an informed outlook of the network, so that an informed decision can be made later. And hence, AI will be the way forward. AI will be a tool for us to enable for us to actually have better visibility of the network in relation to those information that been fed throughout the country from our substation, from our cable, even from the customer point of view, from the smart meters. So with all this data being integrated, AI actually helps us in terms of the fast assessment, integration of this information, and actually churn out certain information that will be useful for us to actually allow the more dynamic and advanced automation of the network.
So how do you ensure that TNB's deployment of AI and digital monitoring remains highly practical, scalable, and also backed by strong infrastructure governance?
I think whatever we do, I think we stand to be guided by the government and the regulators. So the complications, the challenges that comes along with the RE, distribution and generation, the digital information, digital load and whatnot, will eventually provide certain strain to our work. And hence, we are working closely with the regulator. Whatever we do, I think we actually we're having a deliberate discussion with the regulator on how to go about. And this effort would not be coming alone from Tenaga. We actually a concerted effort, a teamwork. From Tenaga perspective, from the regulatory perspective, from the ministry perspective, as well as the government perspective.
All right, so that brings the close to the end of the fantastic discussion between us. So there's a big major takeaways from us is that the digital and the green future relies heavily on the grid beneath our feet. I mean, without that, all these talks about transitioning towards a better energy is basically redundant. All right, so thank you again to Ahmad Sazree bin Abdulaziz, the Chief Distribution Network Officer with Tenaga Nasional, for spending your time here with us at the Bernama Mobile Studio. Now, again, for those interested to attend the Energy Transition Conference 2026, you can do so here at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Centre from the 3rd of June, which was yesterday, until the 5th of June tomorrow. So don't miss out. This is your chance to meet with industry players, policymakers, and also experts in the fields of green technology and transitioning towards a better energy in the future, not just for Malaysia, but in the entire ASEAN region and the global stage as a whole. So again, thank you very much. This is the Energy Transition Conference 2026, ETCon 26, brought to you by Tenaga Nasional Berhad. I'm Muzammil Abdullah. Thank you and goodbye.